This is an introduction to the audio-described version of The 2045 to Lover's Rest, a short film by the Alternative Limb Project. It lasts 2.5 minutes, and the audio description is by Tony McBride for VocalEyes. The 2045 to Lover's Rest takes inspiration from the era of steam trains circa 1945, the year that Brief Encounter was released, a film that it pays homage to, albeit with a more steamy edge. It features two actors, Welly O'Brien as Passenger 1 and Dan Richards as Passenger 2. Both characters are white and in their mid-30s, slim and seductively attractive. Both are dressed in the costume of the period. Passenger 1 has wavy blonde hair pinned up and back, with a peacock blue beret-like hat set at a slight angle. Her pretty eyes match the blue of her hat, and her lips are painted subtly red. She wears a short blazer in matching blue, which has 3/4-length sleeves and a hem that stops above a thick blue belt that pinches her waist tight. Beneath is a cream silk dress, with blue buttons running up from the waist to a collar folded neatly over the blazer lapels. The A-line skirt of the dress stops just below the knee. Passenger 2's handsome face is dominated by an impressively bushy handlebar moustache with a stubbled jawline. He has a grey tweed flat cap pulled low down to the line of his dark eyebrows. He wears a grey woolen waistcoat over a white shirt with orange tie and brown woolen trousers. Both passengers have an alternative limb. Passenger 1 has an alternative right leg that fits at her thigh. Passenger 2 has an alternative right arm that fits at his shoulder. Both limbs are constructed from strips of black metal, welded together like the bars of a cage. In their construction, they echo the industrial feel of the steam era. Her leg has a bowl shape that fits at the thigh. The caged leg has an attachment at the ankle that is able to slip into the outline of a high-heeled shoe, its elegant curves also moulded and welded in black metal. The metal of the limb also acts as a frame onto which she can attach sections of plastic, moulded and coloured to match the shape and natural skin tone of her left leg, so that, when attached, it's barely noticeable as an alternative limb. His right arm has a bowl that attaches to his shoulder. He attaches it as though lifting a rifle butt onto his shoulder. From the wrist extends a black metal hand, fixed in an open position. The film begins in black and white, with images of a 1940s steam train and period publicity shots of the two actors. It quickly shifts into the saturated tones of Technicolor when the colours of the costumes are revealed. Throughout, the film shifts between black and white, mainly when further images of the steam train are presented, and Technicolor, mainly when the focus is on the characters. This sepia effect is mostly used when a miniature steam train puffs its way around a scenic model railway, which the passengers stand either side of, before she becomes part of the model, reclining across it, her alternative leg becoming part of the landscape, or a tunnel for the train to disappear into. At this point, the film is edited so that the images blend together at speed, building to its steamy climax. The Alternative Limb Project is funded by Arts Council England for Head of Steam, Darlington Rail Museum. Filmed by Freebird Film, starring Welly O'Brien and Dan Richards. Art direction is by Sophie de Oliveira Barata. Limbs design and making also by Sophie de Oliveira Barata. Metalwork is by James Kearney. The limb-fitting prosthetist is Chris Parsons. Compositions are by Leela, and the announcements by Alice Pacey. The 2045 to Lover's Rest. Glamorous photos of Welly O'Brien as Passenger 1 and Dan Richards as Passenger 2, each displaying a part of their alternative limb. In Technicolor, she reads a book, he straightens his cap, both in a steamy, white-walled room.
This is the delayed 8:45 train to Lover's Rest.
The couple become aware of each other, their flirtatious glances overlaid with the train's steamy wheels and pistons. Soft smiles pass between them.
We would like to remind you, for your own safety, please stand back from the platform edge. Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
They stand either side of a model railway. She has one leg, he has one arm, their alternative limbs laid across the model. They smile. Lights dim and pulse, picking out their faces as they make eye contact. A bird's eye view of her sitting across the model railway.
This train takes easy.
He watches as she slips her thigh into the alternative leg and shoe. He then slips his shoulder into his alternative arm. Their eyes meet. They watch the model steam train as it thunders past and under their limbs. His metal hand holds a tiny female figurine on its forefinger.
For your own safety, please stand back from the platform edge.
Fast cut action.
Please mind the gap between the train and the platform.
She removes a section of plastic from her shin, watching the train passing her ankle. Behind them, a projection on the wall of the real-life train entering a tunnel. On the model, the train crosses a viaduct, then follows a line of track towards the tunnel of her leg. He watches closely, intrigued, as it enters the tunnel, and she encloses it by replacing the plastic shin, a soft smile on her lips.
This train terminates here. All change.
The screen fades to black and the credits roll. Filmed by Freebird Film. Art direction by Sophie de Oliveira Barata, who also designed and made the limbs, starring Welly O'Brien and Dan Richards. Metalwork by James Kearney. Limb-fitting prosthetist Chris Parsons. Compositions by Leela. And the announcements by Alice Pacey. And the audio description is by Tony McBride for VocalEyes.